This is the moment you cannot afford to ignore. If you skip this message, you will keep living the same day again and again. You will carry the same weight in your chest every morning. You will hear the same whisper in your head telling you to play small. You will repeat the same patterns you swore you would never repeat. And years from now, you will look back and realize nothing changed because you stayed loyal to the energy of your past. Your old self is not just a memory. It is a frequency. It is the invisible hand shaping your decisions, your emotions, and even the chemistry of your body. Quantum physics proves it. Reality bends to the observer, not to what you want, not to what you write in a journal, but to who you are being in this exact moment. Here is the truth most people never hear. You cannot enter your future life while clinging to the vibration of your past. You cannot manifest expansion while you are addicted to resentment, guilt, or self-doubt. You cannot collapse a timeline you have never stepped into while showing up as yesterday's self-doubt. And if you delay, if you tell yourself you will change later, the loop will only tighten. Safety will harden into stagnation. Familiarity will become a cage. The field is waiting now, not tomorrow. So take this seriously. Right now is rare. Right now is scarce. Right now is your only chance to break the loop. In this video, we will meet the old self, honor it, and release it. Together, we will collapse the energetic imprint of the past and align with the version of you who already lives the life you crave. Breathe. The shift begins inside you. The field is listening. Are you ready to let go? Or will you repeat yesterday forever? Now let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt that heavy pressure in your chest? The one you cannot name, but you know is there? That invisible burden you carry, the one no one else can see, but it shapes every thought, every emotion, every micro decision. It whispers in your ear, telling you not to expect too much. It convinces you to settle for less. It promises safety, while silently stealing your destiny. This is not your imagination. Neuroscience confirms it. Joe Dispenza explains that by the time you are 35, 95% of who you are is nothing more than memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, and subconscious programs. If you do not break the cycle, your brain and body will keep repeating the past automatically. Your biology will recreate yesterday again and again until there is no difference between memory and destiny. Think about that. 95% of your life is running on autopilot, controlled by an old identity that was never chosen consciously. That identity was built for survival, not for expansion. It was crafted in moments of pain, in rejection, in disappointment. You never chose it. It was imposed on you. But over time, it became familiar, and now familiarity feels like truth. But what if that truth is nothing more than a mask? What if the voice inside your head that says you are not ready, or that it is too risky, is not your truth at all, but simply the echo of a self you have not released? The science is clear. Your nervous system memorizes emotions. Your body becomes chemically addicted to the past. Cortisol, adrenaline, guilt, resentment, these are not random. They are signals that train your cells to crave the same states again and again. Your body becomes addicted to your history. And while you are addicted, the future cannot arrive. Let me tell you a story. A U.S. veteran returned home from Iraq. Every morning, he woke up and still heard gunfire in his head. The war was over, but inside him, it was still alive. He lived in a prison of his own nervous system. It was not until he learned to shift his internal frequency that the war finally ended for him. His healing did not come from trying harder. It came from tuning in differently. That shift freed him. What about you? How many invisible wars are still alive in your body? How many old stories do you replay each morning before your feet even hit the floor? This is not about becoming someone new. This is about unbecoming everything you are not. The old self will always try to keep you safe, but safety is not your soul's purpose. Stagnation is not your destiny, Dot. So I am asking you right now, do not wait. Do not tell yourself you will change tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Right now is your only chance to break free. Right now is the only opening the field has given you. If you are ready to disrupt the loop, if you are ready to step into the version of you that is already free, then act. Do not just watch. Participate. Press like right now. Let that action be a signal to the field. Comment below. I am ready to release my old self. These are not empty actions. These are conscious interruptions of the old pattern. Every choice you make in this moment is a declaration of who you are becoming, Dot. So breathe deeply. Feel the weight you have carried. Recognize it, and then decide to release it. The field is not asking you to work harder. It is waiting for you to tune in differently. Are you willing to let go, or will you stay chained to the frequency of your past? The choice is yours, and it begins in this very breath, Dot. If your old self is a prison, then the key is already in your hand. The question is simple. Will you use it, or will you remain loyal to the cage? Answer that for yourself now. And prepare, because in the next step, we will discover the hidden door that leads you out. The doorway out begins the moment you dare to look directly at your old self, the mask you once believed was you. What if the life you are living right now is not truly yours, but a reflection of a mask you forgot you were wearing? What if the choices you make, the opportunities you decline, the love you push away, are not guided by your soul, but by a defense mechanism created long ago? Dot, can you feel that mask on your face? The mask that was shaped when you were a child, when you were told to stay quiet, to obey, to not dream too big. The mask that whispered rules you never agreed to, but learned to follow anyway. Dot, science reveals the truth. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a pioneer in epigenetics, explains that 70% of the subconscious programs downloaded from birth to age 7 are limiting, disempowering, and self-sabotaging. Think about that. 70% of what drives you today was installed before you even had the power to choose. Your old self is not you. It is programming. It is conditioning. It is the mask, Dot. So let me ask you directly. How many of your current struggles come not from your essence, but from this mask? How many dreams have you abandoned because the mask told you that you were not ready? How many times have you said no to life because the mask convinced you it was too risky? The most powerful voices in the world have walked this path. Oprah Winfrey was told as a child in Mississippi that she would never amount to anything. She was told her voice did not matter. She wore that mask for years until she tore it off and stepped into her truth. Will Smith grew up hearing limits, but he chose to rip away the mask of fear and embrace the role of creator in his own life. Today, their stories inspire millions because they dared to face the mask and expose the old self for what it was, a costume for survival. But what about ordinary people? People just like you. Sarah from New York grew up with the belief that girls could not lead. Every time she tried to step forward, that mask tightened, whispering she was not enough. For years, she accepted smaller roles, smaller pay, smaller dreams. But one day she discovered practices like meditation and neuro-linguistic programming. She began to question the voice of the mask. She began to challenge the rules it imposed, and slowly she peeled it away. Today, Sarah is the CEO of her company. She leads with strength, clarity, and compassion. She is living proof that the mask is not you. Now pause and feel this. What mask are you still wearing? Who told you that you are not capable? Who told you to stay small? Was it a teacher, a parent, a failure from the past? That voice was never your truth. It was conditioning. And the moment you see it, the mask begins to crack. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and realizing the reflection staring back at you is not your real face. Imagine the shock and the freedom when you finally peel it off and breathe as your true self for the first time. This is why I'm speaking to you with urgency. Because every day you keep the mask on, the deeper it fuses into your identity. Every morning you wake up and believe it is you. Every evening you go to bed and the mask is already planned tomorrow. If you delay, the cage becomes tighter. If you wait, the mask becomes heavier. And yet the key is in your hand right now. So I am calling you to act. Do not just listen. Interrupt the pattern. Break the spell. Comment right now. I am removing the old mask. That declaration is not small. It is a conscious command to your subconscious. It is a signal to the field that you are no longer loyal to the frequency of your past. Because here is the mystery. Once the mask is gone, the field responds. The quantum mirror reflects not the costume, but your essence. And reality shifts. But before we step into that new reflection, I need to ask you a question. When the mask is gone, when you stand raw and unfiltered, what will you truly see staring back at you? What will be revealed when you are finally free of the mask? What reflects back to you is the faithful mirror called the quantum field. Pause and let that sink in. You are not simply moving through reality. You are broadcasting into a mirror that never lies. This mirror does not reflect your words. It does not reflect the surface affirmations you repeat at night. It reflects only the vibration you carry inside your body that you say you want happiness. But if your nervous system is vibrating with fear, the field reflects fear. You say you want abundance. But if you wake up every day in the frequency of lack, the field mirrors lack. You say you want love. But if you embody doubt and unworthiness, the mirror reflects those exact states. This is why people feel stuck. Because they think manifestation is about what they want. But the quantum field is deaf to words. It listens only to coherence. It listens only to the signal of who you are being in this exact moment. Science has already revealed the mystery. In physics, there is the observer effect. Experiments show that particles do not exist in a fixed state until they are observed. Reality collapses not randomly, but in response to observation. What does that mean for you? It means your state of being is the command center of reality itself. You are not separate from the field. You are the field collapsed into form. Now, let me tell you a story. A CEO in Silicon Valley built a company worth millions. But every night, he lay awake terrified of losing it all. His vibration was not abundance. It was fear, and the mirror never lies. Month after month, his company faced accidents, lawsuits, breakdowns. The more he feared collapse, the more reality reflected collapse. He tried to work harder. He tried to think positive, but nothing shifted until he changed his state. He began to meditate. He began to embody gratitude. He started waking up each morning in the frequency of trust instead of fear. And then the impossible happened. Investors arrived. Partnerships flourished. The same company that was drowning began to thrive. The external reality shifted only when the internal vibration changed. So let me ask you directly, what is your vibration right now? What is the song your body is broadcasting into the field? Do you wake up rehearsing stress? Do you fall asleep rehearsing scarcity? If so, the mirror has no choice but to give you more of the same. The field is loyal. The field is precise. It does not betray coherence. It cannot be fooled by affirmations layered over anxiety. It cannot be manipulated by fake smiles hiding unhealed wounds. It listens to the truth of your frequency. And here lies the urgency. Every moment you embody fear, resentment, guilt, or shame, the field is shaping your reality. Accordingly, you are not punished by the universe. You are simply mirrored. That is the law, so I am calling you to act right now. Interrupt the loop. Choose a new frequency. Signal to the field that you are ready. Type yes right now in the comments. Let it be your declaration. Let it be the line you draw in the sand. This small action is not just symbolic. It is a signal that you are shifting, but do not miss this. If you delay, if you say you will change tomorrow, the mirror will still reflect today. Tomorrow becomes another yesterday, and the cycle continues. The only way to break it is now. Feel this truth. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest who you are being. You are the tuning fork. You are the vibration. And the quantum field is nothing but the faithful mirror, amplifying your signal back to you. So breathe deeply. Ask yourself, what am I broadcasting? What am I embodying? And then decide. Because the next reflection is already forming. The faithful mirror is waiting. It will show you exactly what you are. And the question is this: how will you make your vibration truly coherent? How will you align so completely that the field has no choice but to deliver the reality you have always glimpsed in your highest vision? Vibration becomes coherent the moment your mind, your heart, and your actions speak the same language. This is the hidden code of the universe. This is the secret pattern that determines whether your reality bends toward expansion or stagnation. Have you ever wondered why you can think positive thoughts, write affirmations, repeat mantras, and yet nothing changes? The answer is simple. Because your mind says one thing, your heart feels another, and your actions tell a completely different story. The universe does not respond to words. It responds to alignment. When your thoughts are saying yes, but your heart is whispering no, the field reflects the conflict. When your mind imagines abundance, but your body vibrates with scarcity, the mirror cannot deliver what you claim to want. The signal is scattered. The frequency is incoherent. But when everything in you speaks in unison, when mind, heart, and action converge into one clear vibration, the field has no choice but to echo it back. This is the power of coherence. This is the true language of attraction. Science confirms this. Studies in neurocardiology show that when the heart and brain are synchronized, the body enters a state of optimal performance. Creativity expands, intuition sharpens, the immune system strengthens. In this state, you are not forcing reality. You are flowing with it. You are speaking its language fluently. Let me tell you a story. A pianist in Boston spent years playing music only to survive. She memorized notes, hit the keys, earned her paycheck, but her vibration was divided. Her mind wanted money. Her heart longed for art. Her actions showed fatigue. And so the universe reflected back small opportunities. An endless struggle. But one day she decided to stop playing just for survival. She closed her eyes before a performance and asked herself, what if I played for my whole being? She let her heart flood every note. She let her mind surrender to the rhythm. She let her body become the instrument. And that night the audience felt something different. Invitations came. Months later, she was performing on international stages, living the life her heart had always dreamed of. Not because she practiced harder, but because she finally spoke the secret language of the universe. So let me ask you, where in your life are you out of sync? Where is your heart begging for one thing while your mind negotiates another? Where are your actions betraying the dream you say you want? Be honest. Because the universe is listening to your coherence, not your excuses. This is why urgency is vital. Every day you stay fragmented, the signal you broadcast is scattered. And a scattered signal cannot magnetize the future you crave. You cannot half commit and expect the field to fully respond. So I challenge you right now. Choose coherence. Choose to align your thoughts with your heart, and then prove it with your actions. Comment right now. I choose alignment. Do not wait. Declare it. Let that simple act anchor you into coherence, because here is the mystery. Once you align, reality accelerates. Synchronicities appear. Opportunities unfold. People you once thought were unreachable suddenly cross your path. It is not coincidence. It is coherence. Take a breath and imagine it. Your mind holding it clear. Vision. Your heart beating with gratitude. Your body moving in trust. All of you, every part, speaking the same vibration into the quantum field. How could reality not respond? This is the hidden power you have been missing. Not effort, not struggle, but coherence. The universe was never ignoring you. It was waiting for your signal to stop contradicting itself. So I ask again, where in your life do you need to bring your vibration into harmony? Which part of you has been out of tune? Because coherence is not complicated. It is a choice you make right now. And when you make it, everything shifts. The secret language of the universe is coherence. And it has been waiting for you to speak it. So comment now. Say it with power. I choose alignment. Say it as a declaration. Let it echo into the field. Because when the mirror reflects you back, it will reflect coherence. It will reflect clarity. It will reflect the reality you have always known was waiting. But remember, if all possibilities exist in parallel, then the version of you who is fully aligned already exists. The question is simple. How will you step into that future self? How will you touch the frequency where your destiny is already alive? You do not need to create the future. You only need to choose a version that already exists in the multiverse. Let that sentence echo inside you. What if the life you crave is not something you build brick by brick? What if it is already alive, already breathing, already waiting in a parallel reality? What if all you have to do is tune the dial and step into it? This is not fantasy. This is physics. Quantum mechanics shows us the principle of superposition. Every particle exists in multiple states at once until observed. That means reality itself is layered with countless possibilities, all alive in the same moment. Which one you experience is not random. It is determined by the frequency you embody. Think of it like a radio. Every station is broadcasting right now. The songs are playing, the voices are speaking, the signals are flowing. You do not create the station when you turn the dial. You simply align with it. The song was already there. The future you desire is already there. But here is the problem. Most people keep tuning to the same old station. They keep vibrating at the same frequency of fear, of doubt, of lack. And so they keep hearing the same song, replaying yesterday's reality again and again. So let me ask you directly. Which station are you tuned to? Which version of yourself are you loyal to? Because every choice you make is not just a choice. In the present, it is a vote for which future you will inhabit. Let me give you a story. John, a student from Texas, grew up with nothing. He could barely pay his rent. But he understood something most people ignore. He began to live as if he was already the version of himself he wanted to be. He dressed like a leader. He spoke like an entrepreneur. He carried himself as if his business was already thriving, even when his pockets were empty. 10 years later, John is a multimillionaire, not because he forced reality, but because he aligned with the frequency of his future self, until the mirror of the field reflected it back. This is the law of the multiverse. Every possible version of you already exists. The wealthy you, the broken you, the healed you, the lost you. They are all vibrating in parallel. You do not chase them, you choose them. You collapse into them by the vibration you embody, right? Now, so breathe and ask yourself, which self have I been feeding? Which timeline have I been energizing with my emotions, my thoughts, my daily rituals? Because whether you realize it or not, you are making a choice every moment. And this is where the urgency comes in. Every morning you wake up in yesterday's emotional state, you collapse the same timeline again. Every night you go to bed rehearsing old stories, you guarantee they repeat. You are not stuck because the future is unavailable. You are stuck because you keep voting for the same version of yourself with the same vibration dot. But today, you can interrupt it. Today, you can tune to a new station. Today, you can choose the future self who is already alive in the field. That version is not far away. It is one frequency shift away. So do it now. Comment below. I choose my future self. Let the act be a signal. Let the field feel your declaration. The smallest choice in alignment becomes the seed of a new reality. Can you feel the power in this? You are not a victim waiting for life to happen. You are the observer collapsing possibilities. The universe is not withholding anything from you. It is responding to who you are being. So embody it. Stand taller. Speak clearer. Think from the end. Feel as if the dream has already happened. This is not pretending. This is physics. When you inhabit the vibration of the outcome is drawn to you. Do not wait another year. Do not waste another decade replaying the same song. The dial is in your hand right now. The multiverse is playing infinite futures. Which one will you choose? The highest version of you is alive right now. The question is simple. Will you align with it? Because the truth is clear. You do not create the future. You select it. And the one you select becomes the one you live. There is a deeper question you must face. If every future already exists, who has the ultimate authority to choose and create the one you will embody? Who holds that power? Who decides? And the answer to that question changes everything. The one powerful enough is consciousness, the bridge between ancient wisdom and modern science. Pause and let that truth strike you. Consciousness is not a spectator sitting in the back row of your life. Consciousness is the architect, the sculptor, the hand that shapes reality itself. Now think about it. If every possibility exists in quantum superposition, then what collapses one version into form while leaving the others unexpressed? It is not chance. It is not luck. It is observation infused with awareness. Consciousness is the deciding factor. This is why sages and mystics across thousands of years have spoken of the mind as creator. And today, quantum theory is catching up. Experiments with the double slit show that particles behave like waves of probability until observed. The moment awareness enters, the wave collapses into one reality. What does this mean for you? It means you are not separate from the field. You are the field made aware of itself. You are the ultimate creator. So let me ask you, have you been treating your consciousness as passive? Have you been living as if you are at the mercy of circumstance? Because the science and the wisdom agree, you are not a victim. You are the force shaping the movie itself. Consider the story of a woman in California diagnosed with cancer. Her doctors told her the statistics. They told her the odds. But she decided to lean into something deeper. Every day she meditated. Every day she pictured her cells lighting up with vitality. Every day she replaced fear with trust. She embodied, healing so fully that her body began to follow. Months later, her scans revealed what doctors called unexpected. The tumor had shrunk dramatically. She had rewritten her biology not by chance, but by consciousness. This is not superstition. This is biology responding to awareness. Epigenetics shows us that genes switch on and off according to environment. And what is the most powerful environment your cells live in? the emotional and energetic state created by your consciousness. So what about you? What are you broadcasting into your body and into the field? Are you rehearsing sickness with your thoughts? Are you rehearsing scarcity with your feelings? Are you rehearsing fear every time you imagine the worst? If so, your consciousness is scripting the play, and reality is obediently performing it. But here is the urgency. Every moment you unconsciously rehearse the old story, you give it life. You collapse it into reality again and again. You think you are waiting for the future to change. In truth, the future is waiting for you to awaken as creator. So let me speak directly to you. Do not underestimate your power. Consciousness is not passive awareness. Consciousness is the pen writing the script. Consciousness is the brush painting the canvas. Consciousness is the bridge that turns possibility into matter. And right now you can choose. You can say with conviction, my consciousness is creative. Say it, claim it, anchor it, and to seal it, act. Click the heart right now. Let it be your declaration. Let the field hear your choice, because the moment you claim it, the mirror must respond. The faithful field cannot betray coherence. When you embody creator, reality rearranges to match. This is why the ancients bowed before silence. This is why monks spent lifetimes meditating. They were not escaping the world. They were entering the control room on it. They understood what science is only beginning to prove, that the seat of power is not outside. It is within awareness itself. So ask yourself, what story is your consciousness telling right now? What reality are you collapsing with every thought, every image, every expectation? Because whether you admit it or not, you are always creating. The only question is, what? Breathe this in. Feel the gravity of it. You are not waiting for permission. You are not waiting for circumstance. You are the circumstance. You are the cause. You are the creator. And if you doubt, return to the evidence. The woman in California is not alone. Thousands have healed, transformed, rebuilt, not by chance, but by consciously directing their awareness. Science has documented spontaneous remissions. Neuroscience has shown new neural circuits forming when people visualize new futures. Biology has proven cells respond to perception. It all points to one truth. Consciousness is not a spectator. Consciousness is the supreme architect. So I leave you with this challenge. Will you continue to use your consciousness unconsciously, rehearsing fear and collapsing the past again and again? Or will you awaken, claim your power, and collapse a future that already exists in the field, waiting for your awareness to call it into form? The choice is urgent. The choice is now. Tap the heart to declare it. Comment with power. My consciousness creates. Let that action anchor the truth inside you, because when you claim this role, the universe listens, the field adjusts. Reality bends. But a deeper question arises. If consciousness is the creator, then how do we tell a story so powerful, so vivid, that it bypasses the surface mind and imprints directly into the subconscious? That question leads us into the next step, and the answer will change everything. A story is the bridge into the subconscious, the place where real change begins. Think about that for a moment. Facts can inform, logic can convince, but only story transforms. Because story does not stop at your surface mind. It slips past defenses. It bypasses resistance. It speaks directly to the subconscious, where habits live, where identity hides, where change truly begins. Why do you remember certain moments forever? Why does a film scene or a book stay with you years after you first experienced it? Because story activates your entire brain. Neuroscience proves it. When you hear a story, not only are the language centers engaged, but the sensory, motor, and emotional regions light up too. You do not just hear a story. You live it. You feel it. You become it. And that is why story is the most hypnotic force in human history. This is why every culture, every religion, every movement has relied on story. Ancient myths, sacred parables, heroic journeys, because humans are wired for narrative. It is how we encode meaning. It is how we learn to survive. And today, it is how we change. So let me ask you, what stories are shaping your life right now? Are you living inside a story of defeat? Are you replaying a story of betrayal? Are you repeating a story of scarcity? Because if you are, then your subconscious is using that script to direct your every choice. And until the story changes, nothing else will. This is why the first 5 seconds of a story are so powerful. They are the hook. They decide whether your audience stays or leaves. In those moments, you either open the subconscious door or you lose it forever. Think of the sparkline model. It begins by showing the reality of struggle. It paints the pain. It makes the audience nod and say, "Yes, that is me." Then it opens a glimpse of possibility. It shows what could be. It stretches the gap. It creates tension. And finally, it delivers the resolution, the bridge from the current state to the future self. This is the rhythm of transformation. Or think of the mammoth, the hero's journey. A character leaves the known world, faces trials, nearly breaks, but returns with wisdom and power. This structure has lived for thousands of years because it mirrors the deepest patterns of our psyche. It is not just entertainment. It is initiation. And science confirms this. MRI studies show that when you listen to a story, your brain synchronizes with the storyteller. Your patterns of neural firing actually mirror theirs. Story creates empathy. Story transfers emotion. Story makes your brain feel as if you live the experience yourself. Let me give you a real example. A TED speaker in Chicago walked on stage and within seconds said, "That day, I planned to end my life." The room froze. Millions watching online felt their hearts stop. Why? Because in the first 5 seconds, he bypassed surface interest and went straight into the deepest vulnerability. He did not present statistics. He presented a story. And by doing so, he reached the subconscious of millions, making them cry, making them remember, making them change. Now ask yourself, what would happen if you learned to tell your own story this way? What would happen if you used story not to impress, but to transform? How many lives could you reach? How many doors could you unlock? Do not underestimate this. Storytelling is not just an art. It is a weapon. It is a tool for awakening. It is the most direct line into the subconscious. And if you want to change your reality, you must change your story. So act now. Do not just watch passively. Comment, "I want to learn hypnotic storytelling." Write it. Declare it. Let that choice be the first line of a new story you are beginning today. Because here is the urgency. Every day you keep repeating your old story, you are programming your subconscious to repeat the same outcomes. Every morning you wake up rehearsing that narrative, you are collapsing the same timeline again. You are not trapped by circumstances. You are trapped by story. And the only way out is to tell a new one. Picture it. The moment you stand in front of a mirror, and instead of saying, "I am broken, I am stuck, I am small," you begin to narrate a different reality. I am becoming. I am powerful. I am aligned. At first it feels foreign, but story is contagious. Story spreads from the conscious to the subconscious. Repeat it long enough, embody it deep enough, and your cells begin to believe it. Your body follows. Your choices align. The field reflects it. This is why every movement in history began with a story. This is why every personal transformation begins with a story. And this is why your next breakthrough will only begin when you choose to rewrite yours. So let me challenge you. What story will you tell from this moment forward? What hook will you use in the first 5 seconds of your life's next chapter? What journey will you craft that makes your subconscious, and everyone else's, believe that change is not only possible, it is inevitable? Because story is the bridge, and once you walk across, nothing will ever be the same. But here is the deeper mystery. Stories are powerful, yes, but what gives them their true force? What scientific foundation makes them bypass logic and imprint directly into the brain? That question leads us to the next revelation, and the answer will take us even deeper. The foundation of every hypnotic story is neuroscience and epigenetics. Stop and let that truth sink in. The stories you tell yourself are not just metaphors. They are not just imagination. They are instructions to your biology. They are blueprints for your brain. They are signals for your genes. Science has shattered the old myth that you are a prisoner of your DNA. Bruce Lipton, a pioneer in epigenetics, revealed that 70% of gene expression is not fixed but influenced by environment. And what is the most intimate environment your cells live in? Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs. The voice in your head is not harmless. It is chemistry, it is biology. It is programming your future in every moment. Neuroscience confirms this. Joe Dispenza's research shows that the brain rewires itself with experience. When you repeat the same thought, the same feeling, the same reaction, you strengthen those neural circuits. But when you choose a new emotion, a new story, a new image, your brain begins to prune the old connections and fire new ones. In time, the architecture of your mind changes. This is not wishful thinking. This is measurable. So let me ask you, what have you been rehearsing? What emotions do you play on repeat? Because every time you rehearse fear, your genes receive fear. Every time you rehearse anger, your genes express inflammation. Every time you rehearse doubt, your genes lower resilience. But if you rehearse gratitude, joy, vision, your genes express health. Your body becomes a mirror of your mind. Listen to this story. A young swimmer in California dreamed of winning, but did not always have access to the best facilities. Instead, she closed her eyes every night and visualized every stroke. She imagined the water on her skin. She felt the burn in her muscles. She rehearsed the race in her mind with such detail that her brain recorded it as real. Weeks later, when she competed, her body responded as if she had already swum those races thousands of times. She won gold at the state championship. Her triumph was not luck. It was neuroscience. It was epigenetics. It was proof that what you imagine, your biology believes. Now pause. What stories are you feeding into your biology? Are you rehearsing failure each morning when you recall old mistakes? Are you rehearsing heartbreak each night when you replay loss? If so, your nervous system is memorizing the past and your genes are coding it into your future. But here is the urgency. Every thought is a signal. Every feeling is a command. And if you do not take control, the past will keep instructing your body to repeat itself. That is why change feels so hard. Because it is not just mental, it is cellular. Yet this is also the miracle. If your thoughts and emotions can imprison you, they can also liberate you. Epigenetics proves your genes are waiting for new instructions. Neuroscience proves your brain is waiting to rewire. The power is not locked in your DNA. The power is locked in your awareness. So let me challenge you. Right now, interrupt the loop. Comment below. I believe in the science of change. Type it. Declare it. Let it be the first new signal you send into your nervous system today. Because the truth is, your biology is listening. Your cells are paying attention. Your genes are waiting for your command. And the moment you shift your story, the moment You embody a new vibration. The machinery of your body begins to align with your future. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, and instead of rehearsing the same stress, you rehearse gratitude. Instead of reliving the same guilt, you visualize freedom. Instead of predicting failure, you embody success. Within weeks, your brain begins to shift. Within months, your body begins to transform. Within years, your destiny is unrecognizable. Not because the world changed first, but because you changed the signals you were broadcasting. This is the hidden code. Neuroscience is the hardware. Epigenetics is the software. And you are the programmer. You hold the keyboard every day. The question is, what script are you running? Do not waste another second living in default mode. The old story does not deserve another breath. Write the new one now. Speak it, feel it, live it. Because the science is on your side. You are not trapped. You are adaptive. You are unlimited. And here is the deeper mystery. If science provides the tools, then the next question is this. How will you take these tools and shape them into your own unique voice? How will you turn the science of change into the art of becoming unmistakably you? Your unique voice is born from authenticity. The moment you dare to live true to yourself, feel the weight of that truth. You can copy strategies. You can repeat scripts. You can imitate others. But until you speak from the raw place of who you truly are, your voice will never pierce the noise. Because the world is drowning in imitation, and the only sound that cuts through is authenticity. Why do people lean in when someone speaks vulnerably? Why do millions stop scrolling when they hear a raw confession? Because authenticity awakens something primal. Neuroscience shows that when we experience truth, oxytocin floods the brain. This is the bonding hormone. It makes us feel safe. It makes us trust. It makes us connect. Authenticity literally rewires the listener's body for empathy. So let me ask you, are you hiding behind a mask of perfection? Are you trying to impress instead of connect? Because the audience does not want your polished facade. They want your scars. They want your humanity. They want the parts of you that make them whisper, "That's me too." Look at this story. A YouTuber in America once lost everything. Bankruptcy, shame, failure. Instead of pretending, he turned on the camera and spoke the raw truth. No filters, no edits, just honesty. And people listened, because in his brokenness, they saw themselves. In his truth, they felt less alone. His channel exploded. Millions followed, not because he sold perfection, but because he gave permission for people to be real. Now pause and feel this in your own life. What parts of you are you hiding? What stories have you buried because you fear judgment? Those very stories are the keys to your unique voice. They are not weaknesses. They are power disguised as pain. This is where urgency lives. Because every day you hide your truth, you silence your unique voice. Every time you polish away your flaws, you erase the very thing that makes you unforgettable. And the cost is high. Without authenticity, your message will be forgotten. But with it, your words will echo inside people's souls. So act now. Declare it. Comment below. I choose to live true. Write it. Claim it. Let that commitment become the first act of authenticity today. Because the moment you say it, something shifts. You stop performing. You start revealing. And when you reveal, people connect. They do not follow you because you are perfect. They follow you because you are real. Imagine this. You speak your truth, even the messy parts. The audience does not turn away. They lean closer. They do not judge. They resonate. They feel seen, heard, understood. And in that resonance, influence is born. Not influence built on manipulation, but influence rooted in trust. Authenticity is not weakness. Authenticity is strength. It is the courage to stand bare while the world demands masks. It is the defiance to say, "This is me," while others hide. And in that defiance, you liberate others to do the same. But here is the deeper mystery. Authenticity alone is not the end. It is the beginning. Because once you dare to live true, a new challenge arises. How do you take that raw truth and allow it to transform you into a higher self? Because being real about your pain is powerful. But rising from it into a new identity is transcendence. So let me leave you with this burning question. Authenticity gives you connection, but connection alone is not destiny. If living true to yourself opens the door, then how do you walk through it and be reborn as the higher version of who you are meant to be? That is the path we step into next. You are reborn the moment you dare to reset your quantum identity right now. Feel the urgency in those words. Because identity is not just who you think you are. Identity is the script your subconscious runs every day. It is the vibration you broadcast. It is the filter that tells the quantum field who to reflect back. And if you never reset it, you will live the same story again and again. Ask yourself, who have you been loyal to? The old self shaped by fear, a voice that says you are not enough, the pattern that repeats failure. That is not truth. That is identity. And identity can be rewritten. This is the power of the quantum identity ritual, a process that takes you out of the loop and into rebirth. 4 steps, 4 decisions, 4 acts of defiance against the old self. Step 1, name the old self. Do not let it hide in the shadows. Drag it into the light. Give it a name so specific, it loses its power. One coach in Florida called his old identity the quitter. He saw how it whispered in his ear every time life got hard. He gave it a name so he could see it as separate. Not him, not truth, just an old mask. Step 2, release it. This is not about hating the old self. This is about honoring what it taught you and then letting it go. Burn it on paper. Say goodbye out loud. Cut the energetic cord. Because the field cannot deliver a new identity while you cling to the corpse of the old. Step 3, embody the new self. Ask yourself, who am I when I am aligned with my highest? Vision. What do I think? How do I walk? How do I breathe? Then do it. Do not wait. Do not practice in secret. Show up right now as that version. Because the brain does not know the difference between vividly imagined experience and reality. Neuroscience proves it. When you rehearse with emotion, the same circuits fire as if it were already happening. Every vivid thought rewires. Every emotional rehearsal lays down new connections. Step 4, anchor it with declaration. Speak it, write it, claim it in public. This is not performance. This is programming. Every declaration sends a signal to the subconscious and the field. Every I am statement is a command to reality itself. Listen to the story of that Florida coach. For years, he drowned in alcohol. Every setback confirmed the identity of the quitter. He named it. He released it. He embodied a new self, one who owned his strength. He declared it daily. And the shift was so powerful that within years, he went from addict to owning one of the most respected gyms in his state. The old self died. The new self lived. That is the power of resetting quantum identity. Now, pause and ask yourself, what name would you give your old self? What would you call the version of you that holds you back? The one addicted to fear? The one chained to doubt? Name it. Face it. Because until you do, it will keep living through you in silence. Do not wait another day. Begin now. Comment, my old self has been released. Do it with conviction. Do it as ritual. Let that act be your first anchor, because urgency is everything. Every day you keep identifying with the old self, the stronger its circuits become. Every repetition is a vote for its survival, and every delay is a betrayal of the new self waiting to be born. But feel the hope in this. Identity is not fixed. It is fluid. It is quantum. It collapses according to the energy you embody. And when you choose, the field reorganizes. Your biology rewires. Your reality shifts. So I'm asking you directly. Will you keep obeying the mask of the past? Or will you declare a new self into existence today? The ritual is here. The science is clear. The power is yours. Take a breath. Imagine peeling away the old skin. Imagine standing taller, speaking louder, feeling lighter. Imagine living as if the old self never existed. That reality is already alive. It is waiting for you to tune in. But here is the deeper question. Once you have released the old self, once you have anchored the new, how do you keep the fire alive? How do you stop yourself from slipping back into the loop? That mystery is what we step into next. You keep the fire alive by readjusting every day and stepping into the collective awakening. Feel the urgency in that truth. Transformation is not a single event. It is not one ritual, one breakthrough, one emotional high. Transformation is sustained through repetition, through choice, through alignment made daily. Because identity is not maintained by what you do once. It is shaped by what you return to again and again. So let me ask you, how do you begin your mornings? Do you wake up and unconsciously slip back into yesterday's vibration? Or do you wake up and choose deliberately to align with the new self you declared? That single choice at dawn decides the trajectory of your day. It decides whether you replay the past or embody the future. This is why small rituals matter. Taking 3 breaths and remembering your intention. Writing a single line that affirms your higher self. Moving your body in a way that signals vitality. These may look small, but they are quantum triggers. Each morning habit is a vote for your new identity. Each conscious act is a micro-declaration to the field. Science proves it. Studies show that public commitment strengthens habits. When you declare your choice out loud, when you put it into the world, your brain takes it seriously. Accountability increases, neural circuits strengthen, and your chances of sustaining change multiply. This is why your words in the comments are not just digital ink. They are anchors of identity. They are promises your subconscious will fight to keep. But sustaining transformation is not just personal. It is collective. Because energy multiplies when shared. Imagine hundreds, thousands, millions of people tuning into the same vibration. Of awakening, the field amplifies. The frequency rises. And your individual fire is fed by the flames of others. Let me give you a story. In Seattle, a community decided to meditate together daily. They gathered in living rooms, parks, community centers. For 6 months they breathed, visualized, and aligned. At the end of that period, studies revealed something extraordinary. Rates of depression in their community dropped by 40%. Not because life outside magically became easier, but because their collective frequency shifted the environment. Inside, one small group choosing coherence influenced the mental health of an entire city. Now pause. Imagine what would happen if you not only maintained your new identity, but joined with others to sustain it. Imagine what could happen if communities everywhere synchronized their vibration. Wars would quiet, fear would dissolve, healing would accelerate. This is not fantasy. This is physics. The field responds to coherence, and collective coherence is unstoppable. But here is the urgency. If you do not guard the fire, it dims. If you do not realign daily, you drift. The old self waits patiently for cracks in your commitment. One missed morning, one unchecked thought, and slowly you slide back into the familiar dot. So act now. Protect your identity. Guard your vibration. Commit in public so the fire is kept alive. Comment right now. I commit to living in my highest self. Write it boldly. Seal it with action. Let the field witness your choice, and do more than comment. Share this with others. Bring them into the awakening, because the journey is easier together. When you lift, you are lifted. When you support, you are supported. The collective field is stronger than the individual ego. Feel the power in this moment. You are not alone watching a video in isolation. You are part of a movement. You are part of a global awakening. And every like, every comment, every share is not just support. It is fuel. It is energy flowing into the field. It is proof that you are serious about sustaining the change dot. So let me challenge you. Do not consume passively. Participate actively. Tap the heart. Share the video. Subscribe and stay connected. These are not just digital gestures. They are signals of alignment. They are small anchors that sustain your new self. And now let us close with gratitude. Out of millions of videos you could have chosen, you are here, right now, listening, reflecting, choosing. That is not random. That is synchronicity. That is the field guiding you dot. So thank you. Thank you for daring to listen. Thank you for daring to act. Thank you for daring to step into awakening. This moment may look small, but it can become the turning point of your entire life. Breathe deeply and let this truth settle. The universe is listening. The field is waiting. And the only question that remains is this dot: will you keep the fire alive tomorrow morning? Will you honor your new identity again and again? Will you step not just into personal change, but into the collective awakening that is already unfolding? The choice is yours. And the time is now. Comment. I commit to my highest self. Tap the heart. Share this message. Subscribe for what is coming next. Because the journey does not end here. It begins here. And remember this final truth. This moment could be the hinge of destiny. And the universe is listening to what you choose.